Hello, everyone. I am Maggie from Formula Maggie, and today I will introduce Chloe Grant. She's last year a GB4 driver, and she's ambassador of Girls on Track. Thank you so much for enjoying, Chloe. Uh,
Thanks for having me.
it's incredible to talk with you. So I will start with your beginning, like on your career, if it's okay. So
Yeah.
you won the Junior Silent Card Championship, uh, schoolship, schoolship. See. Do you remember the moment? How do you feel about it? Like, was something big for you?
Yeah, winning the scholarship, it was unexpected. Obviously, prior to that, I did a lot of kart racing. So I did 7 years of kart racing, and I was actually supposed to do like the British Championships that year in karting again. But a friend suggested like, why don't you enter the scholarship? You never know, you might win it. So I didn't really expect much, but I just thought it would be a good experience. And yeah, I was very lucky to have been good enough out of everyone who's there to have won it, and it really helped me make a good step into cars.
Uh, was a big change for you, like to go to the Junior Silent Car to from karting? Like this transition was a really big thing for you?
Yeah, it was definitely big at the time. They're very different to drive. Obviously now, I remember like the junior saloon was so slow, compared to like the single seaters, obviously. But yeah, at the time it's such a big change because not necessarily in speed. Like obviously it was a bit quicker. It's a kart from a car, but it was more because it's so different to drive versus a car. Like there wasn't a lot I could really relate to it apart from my racecraft. And it was a whole new thing for me to learn.
2021 was a big year for you learn. How did you handle with the good and bad moments?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was more. I don't want to say a fun year, if that's like, because that sounds a bit unprofessional, but it was more of a big learning year. I mean, I had to learn like obviously all the bigger circuits that I'd never driven before. The tough moments were just more like silly crashes because it is a junior championship, so the ages it was ages of people from like 14 to 16, 17. And obviously we were all learning, so there was lots of people making mistakes, and there was lots of people that hadn't actually done karting before and just decided to go straight into cars from nothing, and obviously they could be a bit of liabilities because they would go for gaps that you shouldn't have gone for. So that was more the frustrating part, was dealing with drivers had a bit less experience in terms of racecraft, and they would just take you out and like they didn't really understand how they were in the wrong. That was frustrating. But yeah, the good times, it was more just every race was so much fun because it was such a fun car to drive because it was just this like you could you could kind of lean on each other a bit, which obviously in single seaters you can't touch at all. Yeah, it was just really good fun pretty much the whole year. I mean, we were just kids realistically.
Okay. I will pass to GB4. You start in 2022 and 2024, but um, how was your first time in 2022? How was that feel to go to a new category?
So getting to move to single seaters is something I never thought I would do, let alone do it for quite a few years. So I was very excited, very emotional when I found out I'd be racing in single seaters because of my sponsors. I was very grateful. The first test was unbelievable. It was like something I've never felt in my life, and it was so difficult actually getting used to downforce. Like trying to trust the car that it's just going to stick to the ground if you go fast enough is really difficult. Um, I mean, my first experience of single seaters was really cool, but first experience of GB4 was not great for me, honestly. I was with a team who were brand new to these types of cars, didn't really know what they were doing, and I wasn't getting the resources from them that I needed to actually learn and progress. Um, Things that I was asking them for, they just weren't providing me. So it was quite a stressful year, to be honest with you. Yeah, definitely. there was a lot I should have learned in that as my rookie year of single seaters that I didn't learn, and it definitely hindered me from my future progress.
All right. Do you feel like a different driver from 2022 to 2024?
100%. I would definitely say I owe that all to ART Grand Prix, who I raced with in 2023. Yeah, definitely massively different, and also different as a person, really. I mean, I was 16 when I first moved into single seaters. I'm now 19, so
Yeah, it's a big change.
yeah.
um, you get your first podium on the first round in 2024. How was the feeling? Like, what you was the first thing comes to your mind?
I think because it was such a last minute decision to go back to GB4 due to funding, sadly, I was feeling a bit of pressure going back into something I'd previously done, and also I didn't do a single test day before round one in 2024 because it was so last minute, and yeah, it was kind of a stressful weekend. And then by the last race, I was just so frustrated that I was kind of like, I don't want to swear, but I was kind of like, yeah, just go for it kind of thing. Um, so I just kind of went for it and didn't care about anything or anyone. And that's how I went for like P6, and I led for like quite a while as well. Unfortunately, just missed out on the win, but I got P2. So yeah, that was really, really exciting. That was a really cool feeling. And I was hoping to get more of those during the season, but unfortunately, the season didn't go the way I wanted it to. We were having some nice progression. I was having some mentality issues as well, which were hindering me. And then there was just a few, like I said, silly incidents again that just made me so angry, and I just kind of got a bit fed up with it, and my heart kind of fell out of it during the season.
Um, you was on F1 Academy in 2023.
Yeah.
It's a big experience to women. Um, what do you think people don't know about like racing on F1 Academy? Because a lot of people think, oh, it's just a women racing category, but it's a lot more. How you as a driver think about it?
So I think people need to do their research before they comment on things. Like, I see loads of comments on social media on random videos, and I'm like, you clearly know nothing about this sport or this championship. So it's called F1 Academy because then it's supposed to be an academy to Formula One. It's not an F1 car. So many people think it is, and they're like, oh my god, look how slow it is. It's like, it's clearly not an F1 car. Look at the size of it, and just do a simple Google. It's so easy to figure out. It's an F4 car. It's called the Academy because it's supposed to be a natural progression, F4, F3, F2, F1 type thing. And the reason that we have it is not because we need a separate championship as women. It's because we need a bit more awareness to help girls get there. And it's mainly the financial opportunity. For example, for me, I race purely from sponsors. My family can't afford to just go racing. And without F1 Academy, I would never be able to race for a team like ART Grand Prix because there's no, I mean, at the time, they didn't do F4. They just did Formula Regional F3 and F2. So there was no chance, and there still is no chance of me ever being able to afford a championship like any of those. So it gives me the opportunity to work with a professional team, actually get proper development from a team that knows exactly what they're doing, and get that progression that I need for my future. And obviously, if you're good enough at the time when you're in it, and you do well, they help you progress to the next step. Yeah, it's not because we need it. And also, people say like, oh, physically a woman can't drive an F1 car. It's all a load of crap, pretty much. I mean, we've done like a company I used to train with. Everyone has done so much research into it. It is factually incorrect to say that a woman cannot physically drive an F1 car. Like, it's wrong. It's so unbelievably wrong. Like, we have the physical strength. Obviously, we're naturally weaker than guys, but I think people forget F1 is power steering. Yes, you still have to be strong to drive it. It's still a physical car. But even like, I spoke to Ollie Behrman, right? Ollie said that F2 is harder. So yes, F2 is another situation. It will be harder for us to drive that. And I mean, maybe we could do something about that to make the power steering lighter. Or, I mean, I can't comment because I've never driven an F2 car, right? And I don't know if this is just in my mind, but I always think if you're struggling in car, it's your fault. I don't think it's because of your gender. I just think you've not trained hard enough. And again, I could be completely wrong because I've never driven an F2 car. I might train as like an F2 driver and then get in it and be like, oh my god, that's actually really hard. They were right. So that's just my personal opinion. I think if you train hard enough, you can do anything pretty much. But yeah, we can drive F1 cars. We have the physical strength to do whatever. We just have to work a bit extra harder to get that physical strength. But it is scientifically possible, and it's been done many times. I mean, Jess Hawkins drove it no problem. She loved it. And yeah, F1 Academy is literally just a financial help for us girls, and it also puts us in the spotlight to be seen, because there's such a small number of us out there. It just puts us in that spotlight to be people being a bit more aware about us.
All right, like you said, F1 Academy is something you like to help you as financial and all the type of things. And was your opportunity to work with the professional team, like from that season, what you learn with working with a professional team?
I mean, there's a lot I could list off. It was more just, like I said, going into it, I didn't. There's a lot of things I should have known before going into it that I didn't. So it almost felt like a rookie season all over again. I mean, all the girls were a lot more experienced than me, so I was pretty much learning everything I should have the year before, in that year, and even just simple things like how to keep calm. Like, it sounds silly, but I can blow up quite easily. And I mean, in karting, like, you could pretty much say whatever you want to someone as long as you don't put your hands on them. Whereas in car racing, it is a lot more strict and there is certain standards and you have to be a lot more respectful. And I can tend to like if someone takes me off, I want to speak to them and I want to tell them exactly how that made me feel. But even just like driving with ART and learning with them and growing as a person and maturing with them and them teaching me like the correct way to conduct myself, how it actually feels, how a car is supposed to actually feel, and even like by the end of the year, I could give really good setup advice. Whereas at the beginning of the year, they were like, "How's it feel?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know. How's it supposed to feel?" So they just taught me pretty much rookie stuff that helped me massively. And yeah, they were incredible.
So you was talking later about no, you was talking soon about the mental health and all the type of stuff. People doesn't know, but drivers need to work their mental health too. Like, how do you prepare yourself like that? Like, not just physically.
I think it's still something I'm working on, to be honest. I think things to work on mentally as a driver are really good is like visualization or mindfulness. Personally, for me, the mental blocks I have had is because of financial. So, like, I don't know what it is, but see, you put me in a simulator, 9 times out of 10, I'm actually going to be the quickest driver, and that might sound cocky, but it's just from my experience. Like, compared to all my teammates, I've always been really fast in the sim, and I should be able to replicate that exact thing on the track. But then for some reason, as soon as I hit the track, I have this in the back of my mind. I have this thing saying, if you crash, you get damage, you get a bill, you have to pay the bill. So because we don't have lots of money and like we just raised enough for the season and we struggle to raise extra to cover any damage or anything, I always have this block of we can't afford this, and it struggles. It makes me not be able to push as hard as I can. So if I was a millionaire, I would be fast as hell, pretty much, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I need to find some extra money so I don't have that block. But for me personally, that's something I've kind of noticed in the past year. Like, I've always like since moving into cars, like in karting, I had no fear, and in karting it's a lot cheaper, and we had no issue paying for anything in karting, really, to be honest with you. And I just went for it, and I did anything I could. Whereas in cars, I've always had this block in the back of my mind, and I'm not knowing what it is. And I've only really recently, in the past year, realised that it is because we don't have that extra financial cushion that I kind of need to, because I'm just worried about, like, for example, my dad and my mum. I don't want to put that pressure on them. I don't want to put that financial stress on them. So that for me personally is a mental block that I have. I need to get over. Well, not get over. I need more money, but yeah, that's it. There's lots of different things, but for me personally, that's what I have.
So you are pretty famous on social media. Like, a lot of friends of mine like send me your profile like, you need to interview this girl. And I was like, I know, I want to really much. And now I have this opportunity, but like a lot of people start following you now and start to know you now. How was to
Yeah.
feel like this this love from the fans? How do you deal with the fans?
I mean, at the beginning, it was just numbers to me, because to me, it was, I just wanted that number to grow for sponsors. That's all it was. Whereas I think in the past couple of years, I've been focusing on actually just like posting about my life and like who I am, and also even just like posting more feminine stuff, because I want to grow my female following, because I'm sick of creepy guys. So I started posting a lot more feminine stuff to get more girls over, and I still unfortunately have a majority of a male following, but the percentage has gone from like, you know, like 70-30 to like 50-40. Wait, that math doesn't make sense. UK, sorry, that math doesn't add up. Wait, what? UK. Anyways, it's gone from a large, very large male and very small female to more even. I still have a little bit more guys, but it's a lot more even now. So my brain's not working this morning. So yeah, I think I'm progressively doing that, and I do see a lot more girls in the comments now, and I think that's really nice. And yeah, I just like how things are going at the minute, where girls are really coming together to support one another. I think it's really nice. And yeah, it's like a warm feeling. You feel, it's almost like you don't know these people, but you almost like feel safe with them already, kind of thing. And it does amaze me how many kind hearts there are out there. It is a really nice feeling. So yeah, like I said at the beginning, it was just numbers, whereas now I actually do like really appreciate everyone. I do appreciate the guys too that are nice, not the ones that are creepy. Don't get me wrong, but I think the girls are just a bit extra lovely and just reassuring and boosting.
I understand you 100%. Like my numbers is nothing compared to yours, but the creepy guys are always there, so it's like.
Yeah.
But yeah, F-Men's who still support it, and it's all great. But like, I think like women feel more safe. Like it's something I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what
no,
to feel, but yeah. So, like I said before, you are a Girls on Track UK ambassador. Like, do you think programs like Girls on Track are helping more girls to enter on motorsports?
yeah, definitely. I think what I like about Girls on Track is they don't make it an issue, as in they don't go, oh my god, we have this percentage of females in this industry of the sport, this is a problem. They don't make it an issue, they just make you like aware. So what Girls on Track typically do is they take like a couple of schoolgirls out for like a nice day out of school. Pretty much the teachers come along, and you have this great day where you try out different things. Like you get to change tires off of like a fake car. You get to, and there's a few other different fun activities, and then there's a panel where you have girls speaking, and you meet all kinds of different people. And I like that they just show you that this is an option. They're not saying you must do this or we need girls in this. They're saying, did you know you could do this too? Like, I like that they just make you aware about it. As like making these young girls aware about it, that this is a choice, because a lot of them do walk away and go, oh my god, I didn't know I could do this, like I'd love to be a part of this. And so I really like that about it. Like rather than forcing it on somebody and making it pressurizing, it's just giving them the free choice.
I got goosebumps, sorry. Like, it's a project I love so much. Like, I had a friend who had the possibility to enjoy Girls on Track, and she's talking all the time like that's incredible. So I always like I need to try this one day, and I really hope to try one day. So I needed to ask you this. um, so about your career, what's your next goals? Like, you have something you want really to go, like have some person who wants to go to NASCAR and to Formula One. What is your goal?
Um, if you asked me when I was 7, then Formula One. Um, but unfortunately, Formula One's an unrealistic goal financially for me. I think the next step for me will be endurance racing, GT racing type stuff. unfortunately this year we haven't got the funding to go racing, which is quite sad, but it's the sport, it's out of my control. I worked as hard as I could, and I just couldn't do it this year, sadly. But I'm hoping I can come back next year and it will be endurance type racing.
If you could give to another girls tips about motorsports, what will be the tips?
Honestly, just go for it. I mean, I can understand that looking from the outside in, it can seem scary. But see, when you actually like get into the sport, you'll realize how friendly everyone is and how quickly people can become your family and so close to you. Social media makes it look scary, but the people making it look scary on social media aren't even a part of the sport. Like, see, when I say I never get hate in person. No one's got the guts to say anything to my face, and nobody that actually comes to a racetrack and appreciates the sport, like, and doesn't just go to Formula One races, goes to all different kinds, actually appreciates the sport. They don't care about your gender. The only people who care are people who literally are not involved in the sport, and their opinions don't matter. If you ever get hate like that, my advice, don't snap back at them. My advice is to try and give them be kind to them. Like, actually just be like, hey, so actually this is wrong, like this and that, like factually correct them, but be nice. Like, I'm like, oh, have a great day at the end of it. 90% of the time, they're not going to be mean to you again after you've just been nice to them. Like, they're embarrassed. And then the other 10%, they're ignorant and jealous. So you just block them. It's very simple. So just go for it. Don't be scared. If you have any questions, my DMs are always open. I tend to reply to most of my messages. If you just say, hey, I'm not going to reply to that. If you say, hey, and have like a question and have more within your message, then I'll reply to that. And yeah, I think if you want to be a driver, train really, really hard. For example, if you're an F4 driver, train as if you're an F3 driver. So just always be ready for the level above. If you're looking at other industries, do your research, get to know people within it. And journalism is the biggest one, I think, at the minute. Just post. Like, you're going to think it's so cringy filming yourself at the beginning. Just post. I know it's hard, but you have to go out your comfort zone sometimes, because it's all worth it in the end, and you'll make such good friends and connections. But yeah, I feel like I've rambled on a bit now, but just go for it.
I will take those tips to myself because I want to be a motorsports journalist. So it's something was good to
Yeah,
hear that. So,
good.
uh, well, Chloe, thank you so much.
No worries.
Was so nice to talk with you. I'm here cheering for you, like for the next episodes. So you
Thank
have
you.
a fan here.
Thanks.
But yeah, was this the episode? I hope you guys like it, and thank you again, Chloe. Uh,